Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss the solution for product of array except itself without using division operator. Okay, so let's see how we can do this. Alright, so coming to the question, what we have is an array of n size. Let's suppose that we have this array. Okay, and what we need to do is create an answer array, which is now currently empty because I haven't filled it. Okay, so now what we need to fill in this array is the product of all the element of the array except the ith element of the array. So what this means is, if let's say I'm at the 0 index in this answer array, what I need is the product of first element, second element, third element and fourth element, which is nothing but 120. If you don't believe me, you can calculate it yourself, right? If you are at 1, then you need the product of 0th element, second element, third element, fourth element, which is 60. Again, you can check it. And if you are at second position, then what we need to do is fill it with product of 0th element, first element, third element and fourth element, and that is 40. If you are at third index, you need to fill it with product of 0th element, first element, third element and fourth element, which is 30. Okay, and lastly, if you add the last element, the fourth element or the fourth index, what we need to do is fill it with product of 0th element, first element, second element and third element, which is 24. Alright, so it is very simple. That's how we need to do this. Okay, now let's suppose that this condition didn't exist. We just need to find product of array except itself, and it has no constraint that you don't have to use a division operator. So how do you think you can do that? It's very simple, right? What you need to do is go from left to right, create a product, which is nothing but 120. And when you come to filling off this array, you need to just do product divided by array of I. At this place, it will be divided by 1. At this place, it will be divided by 120 by 2. At this place, it will be divided by 120 by 3. At this place, it will be divided by 120 by 4. At this place, it will be divided by 120 by 5. Something like that, and you have your answer array filled. Right. Well, you can try to do that if you want to cheat the system and try to find the product of array in this way, and you can definitely do that. But if you will do that, then on the first try you won't be able to submit it. You will fail some test cases. And what test cases it will be? It will be the test case in which one or more element of the array is 0. Now why does this 0 is going to give the problem? Let's see. Let's make our 4 0. Okay, so now product of all the element will be obviously 0, because if you multiply anything with 0, it will give 0. So let's try to fill it now. At 0 position it will be 0, at 1 position it will be 0, at second position it will be 0. Okay, so at third place there is some value, and what is that value? 1 into 2 into 3 into 5, which is 30. Okay, and at fourth index it will be again 0. So this should be my answer array if this was my array, given array. Now if you were using a division operator and trying to divide by all the element, you will be able to do that very well. 0 divided by 1, 0 divided by 2, 0 divided by 3. Now you are in a pickle. Can you do this? Can you divide by 0? If you try to divide it by 0, you will get error because division by 0 is not possible. Definitely you will be able to divide 0 with 5, but this case where you will try to divide by 0, you will get error, be it any programming language, be it Java, be it C++, be it C. If you try to divide anything by 0, all these languages are going to give you error because division by 0 is not mathematically possible. So don't try to do this. Use division operator and try to find this. Okay, I know that you will be somehow able to use if else case very cleverly and pass the test cases, but the goal here is not to cheat the system but to improve yourself, right? That's why you are here in the level 2. Okay, now let's erase everything. Okay, now let's suppose we are doing the same thing. We are trying to do what we are trying to do is find product of array except itself without using division operator. Okay, we remember our array. We don't need to remember it, right? It's very simple array 1 2 3 4 5. All right, let's create the array. Even though I know array is very simple, but we need some reference point, right? Now just see what I'm going to do and try to figure out what is this. Okay, I will move from left and I will move from right, and I will have a variable called product. Now what I'm going to do is fill this product with value 1, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this left array with the product of the numbers that has come before this 0th element, first element, second element, third element, and fourth element. Maybe you haven't understood it, right? So let's take the example. We have this array. We are starting our product with 1 and we are filling it from the left. Now these are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the numbers that has the product of the numbers that has come before 0 will be obviously 0 because there are no element before 0. But instead of 0, I am just going to write 1 because I will tell you the reason later. Okay, now I'm at 1 position. The product of numbers that has come before 1 will be 1 because there is only one element. 1 multiplied by 1, 1. Okay, now product has changed to 2. Okay, now I'm at the second index. The product of element that has come before second index will be 1 into 2, 2. And now I'm at third index. The product of numbers that has come before the third index will be 1 to 2 into 3, which is 6. So let's fill it with 6. And the product of numbers that has come before fourth index will be 1 into 2 into 3 into 4, which will be 24. That's it. Now we are going to do the same thing but from the right. Move from right to left. We are going to calculate how many numbers has come before this. Okay. Now at this position, at the fourth position, how many numbers has come before it? We are moving from right to left, right? Okay. Actually, there's no element beyond this, but still I'm going to write 1. Why I'm writing 1? I will tell you when I have filled this entire array and produce some result. Okay. Now at my third index, how many elements that has come before it? We have 5 only. So the product of all the elements that has come before third index when we are moving from right to left is 5. Now I'm at index 2. Product of all the element that has come before index 2 when we are moving from right to left will be 4 into 5, 20. Now I'm at index 1. Product of all the element that has come before first index when I move from right to left will be 3 into 4 into 5. 4 is at 12. 12 into 5, 60. Now I'm at 0th index and the product of all the element that has come before 0th index will be 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, which is 120. Now look very carefully. Very carefully. What will happen if I will just match these second index, third index, fourth index and multiply them? 1 into 120, 120, 1 into 60, 60, 2 into 20, 40, 5 into 6, 30, 4 into 1, 24. I got some result. Isn't it this answer array? Yeah, this is my answer array. Have you seen some pattern here? Yeah, definitely. In this, what we were doing was we were trying to store all product of the numbers that has come before a ith index element. When we were at second, what we were doing was trying to calculate the product of the numbers that has come before it, which was 1 and 2, and filled it with. And same for our right array, we have done the same thing, but this time we were moving from right to left. And that's it. We made a left array, right array, and we just multiplied it. But actually we don't have to make these two arrays to create this answer. I have just shown you a representation of what is going to happen, what is happening here. Okay, I'm not going to actually create these two array. I'm just going to use this answer array only. Alright, we already know our answer. Now we are just going to create the technique by which we can actually calculate this answer array without relying on division operator. So this is our array. Now, first thing we will need is a answer array. It will be filled with some number, random number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't matter if it is 0 or 1 or anything. Oh, I forgot to tell you about one thing. At these positions, 1 was present. Now, why I have written 1 here? I have written 1 here because I simply know that I was going to multiply both of these, and if I have put 0 in here, the result would have become 0 here and 0 here. And instead of filling my entire array, I will have been not be able to fill these two elements. My leftmost and rightmost element would have been empty. Okay, so that's why I used 1, because 1 is the multiplicative identity. That's why I have used 1. Okay, now we are not actually going to create left and right array. We are just going to use one array, which is answer array, to store our answer. First, we move from left to right and store the prefix sum that we have got. Oh, sorry, not prefix sum, but prefix product. Element of all the product that has come before the ith element. That's what we are going to store in here when we are moving from left to right. And in second iteration, what we are going to do, we are going to move from right to left, and we will try to multiply the product that we are getting, product of the number that has come before the ith element when we are moving from right to left, and multiply the result that is already stored in the answer. Maybe you haven't, you weren't able to understand it, but once we dry run it, you will be definitely able to see what I'm talking about. Let's name the indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's create a product. For storing a product, let's start it with 1. First, let's move from left to right and store our array with the product of the numbers that has come before the ith element. So at 0 position, any element has come? No, no element has come before it. So I'm going to fill it with 1. Okay, and now I need to update my 1 with 1 multiplied by 1. Okay, now I'm at 1 position. How many number has come before it? Only one element, which is 1. So I'm going to replace it with 1. Alright, now I'm at this position. What I'm going to do is multiply it with 2. Why? Because at this position I need a product of the numbers that has come before the 2. So that's why I have multiplied 2 here. Now, okay, now I'm at index 2. How many numbers has come before it? 2 element 1 and 2. 1 multiplied by 2. It will be 2. Okay, now we are going to increase our product with by multiplying it with 3, because we were at this position, right? Second index. Now I'm at third index. I'm going to do the same thing. First, I will calculate product of all these, which is stored by my product variable. Okay, 3 into 2, 6. Okay, and update my product. I'm array of multiplying it with array of ith element. Okay, now I'm at last position, fourth index. I have product already, so I'm just going to store it. 4 into 3 into 2, 4, and look carefully, this is nothing but my left array. 1, 1, 2, 6, 24. 1, 1, 2, 6, 24. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to travel from right to left. My answer array will be changed, right? Before my answer array, I need to reset my product with 1 again. Now this will be my final answer that is going to be created. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I'm at 0th index. My product is 1. My answer was 1. Oh, sorry. I was trying from right to left now. I should start from this position. I'm at 1. 1 multiplied by 24. 24. Here, what I was doing was, I was replacing my answer of I with product. But here, I am doing this. Answer of I multiplied by product. Okay. Now, moving on. At the 3rd index, what I'm going to do is, oh, yeah, I need to update my product, right? 1 multiplied by 5. Now, 5 multiplied by 6. 5 6 are 30. Okay. Now, I need to multiply it with 4 because I have 4 in my array here. So 5 into 4, 20. Now, I have 2 here. I got 20 from my product. 2 into 20, 40. And now I'm going to multiply it with this 3 because I have done my work here. Now I'm at first position. What I'm going to do is this thing, answer into product, 5 into 3 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 1, which will be 60, and we need to multiply it by 2 because array of I should be multiplied for the product, right? Now 1 is there, product is this. Now final will be 120, final answer. You can definitely check from above that this is the answer that we have currently created. Product was updated like this. Product equals to array of I in this case, as well as in this case also. Okay, this was the case that we have already discussed, right? Now what about the 0 case? I told you that it will work, but I should show you so that you believe me that it will work. Okay, let's create one array. 1, 2, 0, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 index. This is my array. So first we need to create our answer array. In first iteration, we need to move from left to right, and we need to store our answer with product. Product was changing with product into array of I. And initially my product was 1. Alright. Now 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So at 0 position, 1, because there is nothing beyond this. Now I'm at 1 position. There's only 1 present, so 1 in here. Now I'm at 2 position. Oh, sorry, I forgot to update this 1 into 1 into 2 now because I have done this. Okay. for 2, 1 into 2, 2. Now at this place, I need to multiply it with 0. Now my product has become 0. So here 0 will be present. Okay. Now same thing I'm going to do, but from right to left. And product is reset again by 1. Okay. From right to left, 0 into product, 0. And product is multiplied with 3. Okay. And at this position, 3, 2, 1. At 3 position, 0 was there. At second position, into 1 and 2. It will be 6. At this position, before this, I need to multiply with 2. No, not 2, 0. Because at second index, I have 0. Okay, now 0 with 1, 0. Nothing. Even if I multiply it with something, answer will be 0. Let's multiply it even though. Okay. Now 1 multiplied by 0, 0 again. Now look carefully. 1, 2, 0, 3. This was my array and this I have got as the answer for it. Is it right answer? We have a 0 here. So except this place, all the places will be filled with 0. And at this 0 position, 6 will be present because 1 into 2 into 3 is 6. So this way is much better than the way for using the division operator. In that we needed to handle the case for 0 explicitly, but here the case for the 0 element will be handled automatically. Alright, then let's now try to implement our. Okay, then let's code this now. So first thing what we need was answer array. So we are going to use vector int answer, and its size should be array dot size, obviously. So as we are going to use the array size very often, so let's make it short and create a new variable n and store this size, array dot size. That's it. Now I'm going to just pass n here and I have answer of size n. Now what we need is a product, which we need to start from 1 because 1 is a multiplicative identity. Now we are going to run our loop from left to right. So I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and we are going to create a prefix sum arrays. So prefix product array. So for that, answer of I should be replaced with product, and product should be replaced with product into array of I. Right, that's it. Now for our second iteration, what we need is to run our loop from right to left. So product equals to 1 again, and we are going to run our loop for int I equals to n minus 1, I greater than equal to 0, I plus plus, and that's it. Now we are going to multiply answer of I with our product that we have got from the right side when we are trying from right to left. Right, and we need to update our product with product star array of I. That's it, we are done. Now we just need to return it. Let's run it now. Okay, I have made a mistake. I made I plus equal to 2. It should be I minus minus. Now it will run. So we have successful submission for sample test case. Let's submit for all. So it has passed our test cases, which means our code is completely correct. So now let's discuss what we have done here. As you can see, we have moved from left to right, and here we have moved from right to left, and we have done some calculations in here. Okay, now if you will remember what we have done in our first case, in which we were trying to use the division operator here, what we did was create a product, and then we try to do product divided by array of I. So the number of operation would have been somewhat similar, but in this case we got a wrong answer for our value 0. If our array has even 1 0, it would have made our job very difficult for this loop, right? But in this case, that code we have written here is not affected by the value of our array or element of our array, even if it is 0, because we are not trying to do division with 0. And if we will try to do that, we will get error, right? That's why we have done this. Although if you want, you can use that method, but if we have done this, then first of all, the question was to code something that does not use the division operator. And second thing was, if you have used this operator to cheat, then you would have been stuck with the case in which our array has 0 and you don't, and for that you needed to do some kind of calculation in the second loop and in the first loop also, because you need to skip the 0 if our product does not code here. So it was very tiresome job to handle the edge cases for division with 0. So I think this is a better method because it uses less number of operation as compared to this also. Alright, so that's all for the solution of this problem, and I hope that you have understood this solution very well. And if you haven't understood it, I will recommend you to watch this video once again, and I'm sure that you will be able to understand it. Okay, so that's all for this video, and I will see you in the next question. Okay, so goodbye.